Hi everyone. Today we will focus on the differences between USDA and the FDA on their history, authority, and the challenges they met in their development. First, let's focus on the USDA history. The United States Department of Agriculture is the U.S. Federal Executive Department. It is responsible for developing and executing federal laws related to farming, agriculture, forestry, and food. It aims to protect food producers and consumers' interests, meet their needs, promote agricultural trade and production, work to assure food safety, protect natural resources, foster rural communities, and end hunger in the United States and internationally. This is a timeline for USDA history. In the spring of 1862, President Lincoln signed into law an act of Congress. It established the early beginnings of the history of the USDA. With the development of global economy, the American food producers have paid more and more attention to the product export. However, exports of U.S. livestock, as well as animal products, fell under increasingly restriction by foreign countries. In this condition, U.S. producers urged the government to implement an inspection program. Therefore, the first law requiring inspection of meat products was signed in 1890. The law required USDA to inspect salted pork and bacon intended for exportation. In 1910, USDA's Bureau of Chemistry and the Bureau of Animal Industry was signed the text of enforcing the Pure Food and Drug Act and the Federal Meat Inspection Act. Thus, the BAI's Meat Inspection Division created 7 labs throughout the country in order to develop new testing methods and test meat and meat products. In 1926, to address the health concerns posed by poultry, USDA began to offer a voluntary inspection and grading service to poultry processors. In 1946, the scope of inspection was expanded with the passage of the Agricultural Marketing Act. This act allowed USDA to inspect exotic and game animals. At the same time, the act also provided USDA the authority to inspect, certify, and identify the class, quality, and condition of agricultural products. Grading and the quality identification activities were separated from inspection activities and assigned to USDA's Agricultural Marketing Service. In 1970, the Congress passed the Ag Products Inspection Act. This act provides for the mandatory continuous inspection of the processing of all ag products in order to protect the health and welfare of consumers. In 1977, the Food Safety and Quality Service was created to perform meat and poultry grading, as well as inspection activities. In 1996, USDA developed the HCCP system. HCCP clarifies the respective roles of government and industry. Industry is responsible for producing safe food. Government is responsible for setting appropriate food safety standards. In 2012, USDA celebrated its 150th anniversary. The Food and Drug Administration is a federal agency of the United States Department of Health and Human Services. One of the United Federal Executive Department, the FDA is responsible for protecting and promoting public health through control and supervision of food safety and medical products. Today, we will only focus on its food regulation. The history of the FDA can be traced to the USDA's Bureau of Chemistry. Willie, as the chief chemist in Bureau of Chemistry, advocated that the Bureau's regulatory emphasis should be on food, because chemical additives to food posed a greater public health problem than misbranded drugs. However, USDA's Bureau of Chemistry did not have the regulatory powers before 1906. In 1906, President signed into law the Food and Drug Act. This act gave the responsibility for examining food and drugs to the Bureau of Chemistry. President signed the new Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act into law in 1938. The new law mandated the pre-market review of the safety of all new drugs, so that the new law increased the federal regulatory authority over drugs. In 1962, the most important change caused by the new act was the requirements for all new drugs applications. This marks the start of the FDA approval process in its modern form. The Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act was signed in 1994. This act defines and regulates dietary supplements. The United States Food and Drug Administration Modernization Act was signed in 1997. This act is related to the regulation of food, drugs, devices, and biological products by the FDA. Food Safety Modernization Act was signed into law by President Obama on January 4, 2011, in order to give the FDA new authority to regulate food growing and processing. As we know, the USDA and the FDA have different responsibility on food regulation. The rules that determine which agency is responsible for which food can be complex, and sometimes the division of labor can be mixed. Take eggs, for example. The FDA inspects shelled eggs, while the USDA is responsible for egg products, including liquid or frozen egg. The FDA regulates the feed chicken eat, but the laying facility falls under USDA supervision. Technically, the USDA is responsible for the safety of meat, poultry, and egg products, while the FDA regulates all other foods. Well, this might sound like a simple division, but in practice, it is much more complicated. USDA conducts continuous daily inspection of food, whereas FDA inspection have no regular schedule. Now, let's talk about USDA challenges. USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture supports research, education, and extension in 6 national challenges. The first one is food security. Food security ensures that people have enough quality food. Its goal is advancing the U.S. ability to achieve global food security and fight hunger. The second one is climate variability and change. As we know, we are suffering in the greenhouse and other environment pollution. To face the changing climate, NIFA's program focuses on developing sustainable agricultural production. The third one is water. Both urban and rural communities depend on a safe and reliable water supply. Owing to the increasing demand on water, NIFA programs are developing sound water and watershed management practice in order to help farmers enhance their water use efficiency. The fourth one is bioenergy. In my view, the development of bioenergy technology plays a crucial role in ensuring the energy supply. The bioenergy not only solves the problem of limited energy resource, but also help people protect the environment. NIFA is working to secure Americans' energy future through a production of sustainable bioenergy. The fifth one is childhood overweight. Today, nearly 1 in 3 children in America are overweight. If this problem is not solved, 1/3 of all children born in 2000 or later will suffer from chronic ill. NIFA provides funding and leadership to support the study and education on healthy diet in order to help parents to teach their children learn healthier eating habits. The last one is food safety. NIFA's food safety program seeks to reduce the incidence of foodborne illness while improving the safety of food supply. Ensuring food safety covers a broad range of process, from farm producing to processing, distribution, storage, selection, preparation, and consumption. Now let's focus on FDA challenges. The first one is food safety. Salmonella presents the leading cause of death and illness. The 2014 FDA Food Safety Challenge was a call to scientists and other experts from all disciplines in order to find out a way to fight with foodborne pathogens. The second one is the limited funding on drug safety regulation. The FDA serves one of the most critical consumer protection functions of the federal government. However, since 1992, federal funding for the agency has diminished. Prescription drug safety is facing the increasing financial pressure. The last one is the challenge to FDA authority by states. The FDA have to meet the challenges from the government. State governments have sought to legalize drugs, which have not been approved by the FDA. Thank you for your watching.